Hey, welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. It's your girl, Chandie, 𝙬𝙬𝙚𝙀𝙀, Luna, whatever you folks are calling me, the woman of many names. Hello, welcome. If it's your first time. Actually, I know I got a couple new followers this week, a little exciting, so welcome. If this is your first time. Same shit, different day. I'm just here living the dream in my van, doing van life. I'm in Gwinnett County, Georgia. I just got off work. It was a pretty chill day today. Just prepping for the weddings that I'm catering to. For those of you who don't know or haven't been following along, I started a new gig. I left the Waffle House like almost a month ago. I left the Waffle House. It was just time. It was time to start a new chapter, and I work at wedding venues now. So I basically just, I cook for weddings. It's beautiful. Today we had a tasting, which was kind of hectic because it was only for 4 people to come and taste, sample our menu for their wedding in the future. But sometimes it feels like cooking for like fewer people, because I'm just so used to cooking for like a lot of people. Like cooking for 4 people, and we have like big batch, kitchen. It just seems like it's a little bit more, just a little stressful because, there's really no point in prepping for 4 people. So you kind of just like prep to, like everything was made right then and there, and we just brought it straight out to them. They loved everything. They're getting married. It's exciting. So that's what I do. Okay, let's get into this fucking podcast. I'm going to Denver, Colorado. I'm driving to Denver. Oh, my van. My van has been on the fritz. Not really on the fritz. It better not be on the fritz, but because it's basically a new van. But long story short, I have to make this trip to Colorado because I have to renew my driver's license so that I can register my vehicle. And I know people are like, why you got to drive all the way? Isn't that kind of a pain in the ass? Well, first of all, mind your own fucking business. No, but I really like, taking a break. I like traveling. It's just part of who I am. I just like being a wanderer, and, I like being in one place for extended period of time, but, from time to time, I'll have that itch to just want to travel. So that's part of the reason why I'm just driving out of the way to go renew my driver's license. But, and this is going to sound really petty, but I'm really attached to my Colorado plates. I've driven through 29 states in America. I physically have seen all of the states' license plates, and Colorado just got it. Okay, here's my top 3 for license plates. I know I've talked about this on my YouTube channel, but Colorado is number 1, personally. It's just the best license plate. And second place is, some people are going to hate me for this, California. I really like the California plates. If I can't have Colorado plates, I'd go and get California plates. I'd go to California, probably like my least favorite state in America, just so I can get their cool plates. That's one thing they have going for them. Oh, and the whole weed thing they got going for them out there. And then third place for me would be Hawaii. Mostly just because it's just cool. It's like a good flex if you have a Hawaii plate and you're on the mainland, driving around, and they're like, that means you imported this car here somehow. They got a rainbow on it. It's a cute little tag. I don't really care for the tag itself, just mostly for the flex. Like if you have if I see Hawaii plates, it's so rare. But when I see them out here, I'm just like, whoa, that's cool. That's just a cool plate. Colorado plates to me is like the biggest flex. So that's why I'm going out of my way to drive over 1,000 miles to go renew my driver's license. I technically live there. I have my homegirl who lets me use her address. Thank God. My stuff's in her garage. Some of my stuff's in her garage. Most of my stuff's in storage, actually. I'm going to go check on my storage space out there. I'm paying, way too much fucking money to public storage for a closet space of a storage unit. It's crazy. I have just a couple big ass totes with things that I'm just not really ready to part with. Some sentimental items like from my dad and my photos from my family. I got my snowboard in there. I got a bass guitar in there, I think. I don't know. I've been paying for this storage space for like 4 years. And it's just like, I don't get the benefit of enjoying the things. It's just wild. So yeah, I'm going back to Colorado. Probably taking off here in a few days. Not quite sure yet. I have a couple more shifts to work at my job. Okay. Let's see. Let's get into this podcast. I almost forgot about it because I've just been so like wrapped up. Okay, so the thing with my car, I know last week I said that my battery light was coming on and off, and then like my ABS anti-lock brake system light came on, an ESC light came on. All my lights were flashing. It was just, yeah, it was a little stressful. It turns out, and this is what I'm thinking, maybe if someone's like a big car buff, they can like tell me. But the way it seems like I sit a lot in my van while the car is running just to have the air conditioner blow for like hours. Like I'll literally be sitting somewhere. I'll go out, I'll get some fresh air and shit. But there's only so much fresh air you can get before you're like, all right, I want to go back home. And I'm comfortable being in my home, So I'll start my car and I'll just have it running for hours. And I'm pretty sure that's what was the cause of my alternator failing. It was my damn alternator. Turns out it's my damn alternator. I had to get a new alternator. And it was crazy fucking expensive. The thing that saved me, and I'm just gonna talk about this briefly because I really don't like bragging about other people's good deeds, because I don't know. I feel like, I guess it's good to share, to restore some faith in humanity. Okay, so let me just help you restore some faith in humanity. I don't know why. I was the one that was chosen for this, good deed by this person. But basically, I got my alternator fixed, and they fully recharged my battery. They gave me a new belt, all for free. They saw. Shout out to, I don't even know if I want to actually say, you know what, I'm not going to say their name, but y'all already know where I'm at. I'm in Gwinnett County, Georgia. Wonderful business man, good person, veteran, family man, businessman, worked hard all of his life, has been homeless, has slept underneath overpasses and underneath, in the parks, has been that guy before, struggling, and has traveled, has a German Shepherd dog, good man. Saw my Colorado plates and decided to just throw me a bone, and decided to just give it to me. I was like, I can't afford $1,000. It was $1,000, bro. For $600, it was $600 for the alternator, and it was $600 it was more for the labor. I don't know if that's like a normal fucking thing, but yeah, the labor costs more than the parts, and it came out to over $1,000. And I'm like, bro, I just don't have it. Respectfully, I'm not trying to step on your toes here. And then he found out that I actually lived in my van, peeped my Colorado plates. Sometimes the out of state plates kind of help me out. Cause I really, you can obviously know I'm not from it. Really, you can look at me and tell that I'm not from here. Sometimes it helps a lot. For the most part, it does, at least in my experience. Realized that I was living in my van and I had my dog with me. So he let me sleep in my van overnight in the parking lot of their auto shop. And for anyone else who's out there who's a van lifer who listens, and y'all know that's actually kind of like a normal thing for van lifers, at least in my experience. Most of the time, more often than not, when I have to get work done on my car and it has to be there overnight, they'll let me sleep in my fucking van. That's been in like 4 different states where I've had to fix my car, and most of the time I'm able to sleep there. Other times it's like behind a gate, think one in Arizona was like behind a gate. So, you know, luckily I had friends out there who let me sleep with them. Because what are you going to do when, like, you got to get your car fixed, but you live in your car? It's literally like, it's not just my car needs fixed. It's like, this is my home now. This is everything I own is in that van. Yeah. And he was like piecing it all together, and then just like literally saw the look of like honesty and I guess transparency and desperation almost, like. And I told him, I'm like, I got to drive back to Colorado next week. And he's like, well, you're not going to make it on that. Let me fix you right up. Bless his heart. Bless his heart. Shout out to the owner of that establishment. But that was, you know, that was wild. So basically what I'm doing is not sitting in my van. Now I have to go out and like be amongst the people, and like, because, you know, I can't just sit in my car without it running all day, unless I got a generator and stuff, which I may consider investing in. It may be a good investment. We're almost at the peak of summer. We're still in spring. Who am I kidding? Summer is not even until next week. So it's only gonna get hotter here in Georgia. So yeah, luckily I'm right by a big ass lake, Lake Lanier, famous lake. Which actually when I moved here, I learned that it has some trippy history. Go ahead and look up Lake Lanier in Georgia. So yeah, we can spend a lot of time outside without having to be in the van. How long have I been talking? I feel like I'm just rambling right now, bro. I'm still kind of like buzzing from work right now. Like I'm just still wired from work, so I'm like, let me just record this podcast. Hold on, let me get a drink. Yes, I want to thank all the people at that establishment. They know who they are. I don't really want to put the name of their business on here like that. But yeah, bless their whole family, bless their whole business. Everyone that they're doing. Everyone was really nice and helpful. The car actually, and maybe this is me, it's driving, but it's just not, it's not driving quite the same. It feels like I'm actually driving a little slower. So I don't know if that's just because it's had work done, and, you know, maybe they gave me like a refurbished alternator or whatever the cheapest option was or something like that. I don't know. Or maybe my battery just needs to be changed, but it's not quite driving the same. And I do have to make 1,000 miles. So, you know, I'm mostly going to be focusing on just getting to Colorado safely and then getting back to Georgia. And also having fun. I have a couple stops planned along the way that I want to stop and fly my drone at. I have this journal. I have multiple journals. I'm one of those girls. I have multiple journals, but I have this one that is like my main journal. It's like very detailed. It's got like dividers and like tabs and stuff for different times of the day and different times of the month. Normally, what I'm doing in this journal is jotting down multiple times in a day, like every few hours or something. I'm like logging something for one of the sections. I have like several sections, like a gratitude list, a manifestation list, an inspiration list. I got like notes from books that I read. I got a bunch of stuff in this journal, and I frequently write in it all the time, or at least I did. And after this car thing happened, I noticed that I have sort of, best way I can put it, sort of like vibrating at a frequency that is in like a struggle, kind of. It's like a struggling frequency. And I noticed that feeling started when I stopped writing in my journal. And keep in mind, like, I did this every day for years. Mostly, I started it actually while I was married, but I got really heavily into it, like regularly every day. Like I said, I cry every single day. I have to have a release. I have to have some kind of reflection and some deep diving on myself every single day. I don't know. My mind won't let me not do it. I can't go out into the world and face people unless I face myself. And I noticed that I stopped writing in that journal like September. Actually, my last entry was September, which was about like a month and a half after I got into this new van. When I got into this new van, it was my first time having a car lease, car payment every single month. And so I'm like, now in retrospect, I'm noticing that once I got the van, like a month and a half later, I stopped doing my work on myself, and I sort of just went deeper and deeper into this vibration of like, just like a lacking, just survival energy. It's like, and it was crazy because that's not me at all. I'm like, I feel like I've done pretty well for myself because I love being in abundance. That's just what my nature is. But I was confusing, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I was basically doing a lot of work, but I wasn't being productive. And I somehow, and through that, I managed to just keep myself in this lower vibration. So I went back into the book. I found the notebook. And then I'm just today, actually, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back. It's been like 7 months. It's crazy. I'm like, wow. And so I looked up, how can I align my frequency to abundancy? And here's some tips. I got this from the chat box. This is just so I can just fill in some time, and maybe I can talk a little. So, and the number one thing that it said on this list was gratitude practice, which is something I did every single day. I'm not kidding you. I had 10 things to be grateful for every single day in writing. Okay. It's documented. And you can see, like, my last entry. Well, you can't see, I don't show anyone this journal, but I can see that in my last entry in September, I was like grateful for more like material things. And I'm assuming it's because, I was just trying to make this car payment. I was just trying to step into this new chapter. Like, I was working all this time to get to abundance, and now I got abundance, and now I feel like I'm going to lose it or something, or I'm afraid to lose it. And so I started being grateful for like physical material things, which is very lower vibrational, at least in my opinion. Instead of like things that, that are non-tangible things, like spiritual or emotional things. It started right around the time when I stopped doing my journal. I was like focusing on this physical stuff that I have that I'm like afraid of losing. And that's like, my whole lifestyle is based around minimalist and getting rid of things that I don't need and not being attached to things. I've actually like lost connections with people in the name of just trying, and just so I can like focus on these physical things, this van. In the last 7 months, I've noticed that. So yes, number one, for aligning your frequency to abundance, it says it involves cultivating a mindset and lifestyle that attracts wealth and prosperity. Here are some strategies you can implement. Number one, gratitude practice. Start each day by noting things you are grateful for. This shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Number two, meditation and visualization. Spend time visualizing your goals, which is something I used to do all the time. And now I'm just like, I gotta pay these bills. It's crazy. Meditation can help you connect with your inner self and align your energy. Number three, positive affirmations. I also have an affirmation list. It's wild. Everything that this thing is listing was everything that I was doing. And that's when I was like, whoa, I literally haven't been taking care of myself the way that I thought I was taking care of myself. I've been trying to survive. It's wild. And I went out of the country in the middle of that mindset. Granted, it was the poorest country that I've ever been to, but so I was like, yeah, something was not, like, some wires were crossed. Something was not linking up. Positive affirmations. Use affirmations that reinforce your belief in abundance. Phrases like, I attract wealth and success can rewire your thinking. Number four, surround yourself with positivity. Engage with people and environments that support your abundance mindset. Limit exposure to negativity. And here I am, I'm like, I'm cutting off people left and right. I've been cutting off people since I got my van. I literally, when I came back from Colorado with this van, I went AWOL for like 2 months. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't even talk to my mom for 2 months No one got to see pictures and shit. No one got to talk to me and catch up with me or see how I was doing, because I just chose to just cut people off, even if they weren't being negative. So I'm super in support of cutting people off who are no longer, you're not resonating with each other anymore, and you're on different paths, and if they're negative in your life. But me cutting off people who weren't even being negative, that was a me thing, me avoiding something, and then I replaced it with physical things. Not a good look, 𝙬𝗫. Not a good look, Chandie. Surround yourself with positivity. Number 5, take inspired action. Align your actions with your goals. This might mean learning new skills, networking, or pursuing opportunities that resonate with your vision of abundance. Number 6, stay open to opportunities. Be receptive to new possibilities. Sometimes abundance comes from unexpected directions. See, I thought that when the dude gave me the deal and stuff, I'm like, oh wow, abundance. And then I was like, wait a minute, that wasn't abundance. That was charity work, because I'm not attracting abundance. I'm attracting like poverty. I'm attracting like, I'm attracting charity work. That's not what that was. And that made me feel some type of way, because I've never been one to just take donations or charity work. I've always worked for everything that I earned. I worked for. Not saying that you have to work in order to, have the right to live, but for me personally, that's what I do. I've never been one to take charity work. And then I was like, wow, I must be really struggling right now. Like, not just physically, but spiritually struggling right now. If I'm attracting like $1,000 break from a stranger, crazy. Stay open to opportunities. Be receptive to new possibilities. Sometimes abundance comes from unexpected directions. That's number 6. Number 7 is limit scarcity mindset. Challenge thoughts and beliefs that stem from scarcity. Replace them with thoughts of plenty. Totally, exactly what I was doing. This is like reading my mind. It's literally coming straight out of my mind. Number 8, invest in yourself. Continuously seek knowledge and skills that can help you grow personally and professionally. I will say, on the plus side, I remember saying in my Vanlife Diaries episodes before I went to Guyana that when I come back from Guyana, that I wanted to earn more money. I wanted to look for, a better job, a better income, because I wanted more. I think, obviously, now that I'm saying it out loud, it feels like that was like fueled by that same lack mentality. Like, I don't have enough, I gotta get more. Nothing wrong with Waffle House, it just wasn't paying me what I needed. And now on a spiritual level, it was very stressful. On a spiritual level, it was probably time to go regardless. Okay. Let's see, number 9. Number 9, give back. Generosity can attract abundance. Consider donating time or resources to causes that you care about. Number 10, the final one, celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate small successes on your journey, which helps reinforce an abundance mindset. So yeah, that's my little soapbox. I really I gathered a lot. I was reminded about myself through these experiences just in this last week with my van. It's crazy being like a paycheck, 2 paychecks away from straight up being homeless. Like, if something happened and I had to repair this van, that's also my home. So I'd have to like be able to afford at least a hotel room. If I'm not able to stay in the van, and the repairs for the van and a way to get to and from where I need to go. And I don't know if that's just the lifestyle. I'm pretty sure it's a combination between the lifestyle and also my spending habits. What was I saying? Number 8 one? Invest in yourself. I actually, I finally started saving some money. People are like, don't you save money? How do you go? I'm like, yeah, I save just enough money to get me to my next passport stamp. And then when I come back, it's back to zero. And my homegirl in Washington can tell you exactly. she saw me come back from 2 different countries and my car was going to shit. She goes, you should probably have invested in your car. And I was like, hey, but I'm investing in these trips right now. So now I'm actually doing both. I'm investing in the trips. I'm saving for my trips, but I also have nice little savings things going for myself. I'm trying to think about my future and not be caught in this situation again where I'm attracting charity work. Respectfully. Okay, I think that was good, right? Okay, so I'm just going to get to some questions. Got some really good questions this week. Really good questions. I had like a few of them that were kind of dumb. But the top 3, I picked out like the top 3 questions. And if you didn't know, I haven't said it yet, I haven't plugged my email address. It's Chandie Speaks. Ask me anything, really. I'm here. I'm just here for you. I'm trying to step out and connect with you people. I know normally I'm not this engaging, but I like hearing from you. I like being able to help when I can. This is my way of giving back. And maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Who gives a shit? Want to remind everyone I'm not a trained professional. I'm not a licensed physician or doctor or therapist or anything. Like, just go seek some professional help. ChandieSpeaks@gmail.com. ChandieSpeaks@gmail.com. Almost forgot how to spell it. All right. So this first question, bless her heart. Do I want to read this first? Oh my goodness. Oh, do I want to read this first? Okay. The question was, and these are anonymous. These questions are anonymous. Obviously, I see your name when you send the email address, and you can choose to tell me your name or not. But all these people prefer to be anonymous. So, they know who I am. I don't know who they are. Technically, but there it is. Y'all don't know who these people are. Anonymous. This one question, I'm assuming it's from a woman. She says, how do I turn a man on? Like, I know how to, but how do I do it without taking anything off? Okay, and I just want to give a quick disclaimer to this. I did respond to her, but she did not specify in this question what type of man that she wanted to attract or what that she wanted to turn on. She just wants to know, how do I turn any man on? A man. So my advice to her is very generalistic. How do I do it without taking anything off? So I responded, talking to a man in general about anything will make him attracted to you and turn him on. Just the idea or the possibility of having sex with you will turn him on. You can keep all your clothes on. Hell, you can even wear a trash bag as a dress. You can be overweight, you can be poor or unintelligent. Give him any attention and grant him any access to your time, attention, energy, and he will always believe that you are attractive. Men are very simple creatures. Okay. Yeah, like I said in the disclaimer, she didn't specify what type of man that she wanted to attract. Because let's say this bitch, respectfully, let's say this woman is like fat and stupid, okay? Like objectively like unattractive. Like not many people would get, maybe, depends on who you talk to, is sort of the point. I think women have like, sometimes, not all women, but mostly women, as far as men and women go, it's usually leaning towards women who have like this overinflated, like sense of like themselves or their beauty. Like most women will tell you that they're a 10. As a woman, I kind of feel where they're coming from. Maybe they're talking about like their personality, or I don't know, maybe like their head game is good. I don't fucking know. But you have clearly women who are like 5s and 6s who believe without a shadow of a doubt that they are full-blown 10s. And not only that, it's delusional almost. They want to attract like a 10 with their 5 or 6 personality or body or whatever. And I think it's just kind of crazy. Like men, they don't really have a choice but to date down. Because most women, they want to date up. Most women, they're like, if I'm a 6, but I think I'm a 10, that means I deserve a 10. And not only that, I deserve what a 10, I deserve the treatment as a 10 would get. A woman that's a 10 doesn't really even need to, she can wear a trash bag, okay? She can go and be a trash bag, wear a trash bag. And if she's really a 10, she won't even need makeup, okay? Or like anything super flashy. She can be like the full package 10. Okay, everyone knows this girl's a 10, okay? But, like, maybe if you're a 5 or a 6, you know, maybe you got some childhood trauma that you're avoiding. Maybe you're, like, an emotional, like, time bomb. We don't know when you're just gonna, like, flip out and have mood swings. Or maybe, you know, you don't really have, I don't know. You're clearly a 6, you know, maybe a trash bag won't work. Maybe that's when you, I don't know, maybe develop your personality or something. It's just funny how women have these, like, overinflated views of themselves. And then they call a man, this is the funny part, they'll call a man superficial if he doesn't want to date her because she's a 6. He knows that she's a 6. And the 6 thinks that she's a 10. He's gonna fuck. Of course, a man will fuck a 6 who thinks she's a 10. Guaranteed. A real 10 woman probably wouldn't grant this man access anyway. He's probably an 8. I don't know. Just saying. Just know where you fall on that spectrum and, like, accept it, kind of. Or change it if you really want to. Just be realistic, I would say. Just be realistic. That's what I should have said to her. I hope, bless this girl's heart. Let me get to the next question. I'm rambling too much. This person said, why do I feel so horrible? This is also anonymous. I'm actually not sure if this is a man or a woman. Why do I feel so horrible but don't know what the problem is? Very vague. Didn't really give that much context. So what I wrote to this person, I can't tell their gender, but I wrote, I'm not sure what the context is, but generally I would suggest that it's a lack of sleep and rest, as well as a poor diet and engaging in physically or emotionally stressful activities like work or perhaps your circle of friends. Perhaps your body just needs time for your mind to catch up with it. Because I really don't know what the problem is. They said, why do I feel so horrible but don't know what the problem is? Maybe, most likely, I would say that if you do either of those things, you'll feel a little better. You'll at least feel a little better, or will be at least be able to identify why you're feeling this way. Take a nap, okay? Drink some water, change your diet, go for a walk. Maybe stop hanging out with that dude who doesn't have anything nice to say. Take advantage of that PTO, you know? Most likely, I would say that's generally why I would feel horrible, but I can't figure out what it is. I think that was a good question. We gotta remember self-care. Can't get caught up in the rat race, right? Last question. Oh no, I have another question after this. Okay, third question. Bless their heart. I don't know if this is a man or a woman. It's anonymous. The question is, how to get your homophobic parents to like you even after you come out. So I'm assuming, because they said even after you come out, I'm assuming that this person realized that their parents didn't like them. Maybe he or she picked up on their homophobia, their tendencies. I don't know why. I don't know. And then they decided to go out. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Even if you pick up that, hey, maybe my parents are fucking homophobic or racist or something, and then you come out to them and tell them that you're gay, you should feel safe with your parents, even if you know that their views, or if you come out and tell them that you're, dating outside of your race. Some cultures still, like, fuck with that. I don't know. Like, what? You're dating outside of your race? That's crazy. I don't know. They should feel safe. But what I wrote to this person was, you can't make anyone like you, even your parents. You should spend your energy on becoming a version of yourself that you like, which will be more beneficial in the long run. I really hope this helps. Yeah, that's, you should feel safe with your parents. You know, we don't get to pick our parents, or maybe we do. I don't know. I've heard theories like you pick them before you were born so that we can learn these lessons that go on these missions that we're meant for. But yeah, it sucks when the people who you feel like you should be able to talk to, you can't talk to them because of who they are and whatever. And really, at the end of the day, you can't make anyone like you, even your parents. I think it would be time better spent if you just keep being your own gay self, okay? Keep being all gay and get gayer. just because that's your life, you know? This is your life. It's not their life. Who cares, really? It really fucking sucks. I've learned to just sort of just accept people where they are in life. That's the capacity that they can understand you and love you. Accept them and take them exactly where they are, how they are appearing right now. And then maybe, you know, down the line, they'll return the favor. And if not, at least you've been loving yourself the whole time, regardless, right? Whew. Okay, last question, and then I'm going to get out of here. I feel like this was a decent podcast. I've rambled for long enough. I'm getting a little dehydrated. Let me get water. This question was actually asking for me. It was asking, not really for advice, it was just asking me a question from an anonymous. And the question is, what's a hobby or thing you've wanted to try once to see if you'd like it? Okay, I remember this question. I remember what I wrote, and you know what? It's funny. Okay. They said, what's a hobby or thing you've wanted to try once? You wanted to try once to see if you'd like it. And I wrote them back. Something that I've wanted to try once to see if I'd like it, but didn't actually end up liking it, would have to be getting married. For the longest time in my life, I thought it would be something that would complete me as a woman, but as soon as I signed my name on the marriage certificate, I felt my entire identity sort of fall away, and I didn't know who I was at all anymore. I felt empty, actually, the moment I legally got married. I wanted to give it a fair shot to see if the feeling would subside, but it didn't. I filed for divorce exactly 1 year later, and to this day, I still say it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made. I don't even think I need to elaborate on that, but yeah, I've talked about this many times in other podcasts and other Van Life Diaries episodes, but yeah, I felt it the day that I got married. That's the thing that, you know, I'm not completely saying that it's something that I'll never do again, but I know that I didn't like it the first time I tried it. I did not like it at all. Immediately when I'm signing my name, didn't know who I was. I was in solo marriage counseling like 2 weeks in. Real talk. It started out, we did one session together, and then my self-proclaimed ex-husband, self-proclaimed narcissist ex-husband, these are his words, not mine, he calls himself this, decided that the therapy would not be beneficial for him, so I was the only one who needed it, so I continued therapy for the year that I was married to him. Was not in therapy before. Well, I have been in therapy many times in my life, but during our relationship, I was not in therapy until 2 weeks after we got married, and it was like marriage counseling for me. Like, I'm bad at marriage. Terrible marriage. I highly recommend, if you're in a bad marriage, go ahead and file for divorce. It's 2025. We don't have to stay married to these narcissistic, manipulative, toxic men. I don't like using the word toxic, but I'm just trying to wrap this up right now. But we don't have to stay married. And same thing with women too. Like, men always have that opportunity to divorce, but now women can do it too if they're unhappy. Actually, women file for divorce more. Highly recommend. If you're in a bad marriage, just leave. And if you're in a good marriage, cherish it. I think that's it. I think that's a podcast. Go ahead and email me your questions. These were really great questions this week. Take care of yourselves, everybody. ChandieSpeaks@gmail.com. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.